What was that?
There's people outside right now.
Dude, there was like a hooded man?
Yes!
A hooded man?
Yeah. Hooded.
Yeah.
See, we all saw it.
Yeah.
We still have not seen a single animal tonight.
There are rules to these mountains, passed around by the people who spend time in them. Don't whistle after dark. If you hear a voice, don't answer it. And whatever you do, don't go off the trail at night. Nobody really knows where the rules come from, but the people who break them have a way of coming home with footage like this, moments they couldn't explain at the time and still can't now. Some of it might be nerves, or someone out in the dark playing a trick. The rest is a lot harder to account for. These are 6 of those nights. It's just before 11 at night when Bear and his wife Tiff pull into the New River Gorge in West Virginia. They've spent the evening exploring Thurmond, an abandoned ghost town tucked deep in the mountains, and now they're looking for a place to sleep. They settle on a spot right beside the river, arriving so late that they can barely see where they're parking. Before they even step out, Bear talks about where they've ended up.
There was so much bloodshed here that bodies used to be tossed in this river right here. And people were probably killed. There was so much killing going on in these days. This area was considered like the Dodge of the West of those days. Very violent time.
Tiff has no interest in any of it and stays locked in the truck while Bear cooks. The two run through the rules they've heard about these mountains, that you're supposed to be indoors once the sun goes down, and that you never whistle out here. Then Bear whistles anyway.
No, you're not supposed to be out at night in the Appalachian Mountains, Bear.
Says who?
People from Appalachian Mountains.
Maybe they just don't want people coming to their home.
I mean, we're not going to anybody's house to camp. That is one of the things that's said, though, is like once the sun goes down, everybody get indoors. They also say not to whistle. Babe, you want to whistle?
I can't whistle.
Okay. We just broke 2 rules right there.
Whistling is the one most explorers warn about. The idea being that it lets whatever might be listening know exactly where you are. He laughs it off and heads down to the riverbank on his own to look around.
There was a weird guy driving around. I didn't get it on camera. I was telling Tiff about it. And he pulled right up to the car for a minute. How do you feel about that?
It's creepy.
While he's out there, a car comes up out of nowhere and pulls right up close to the truck before driving off. Bear heads back, and Tiff tells him something struck the side of the truck while he was gone. They tell themselves it was probably nothing, though the rest of the night makes that hard to believe.
What was that?
There's people outside right now. That was a car door. What are they doing? Man, is it that same?
It's the same truck?
Okay. Oh, that's creepy. What are they? Oh, now they're outside but without flashlights.
What stands out is the lack of flashlights. A car door opens somewhere in the dark. A second truck appears that hadn't been there before, and people start moving around the truck, not one of them carrying a light. People don't cross a pitch-black riverbank in the middle of the night unless they'd rather not be seen coming.
Man, it does look like there's a ton of people in that car. There's still people in the car, you can see them.
Wait a minute, they're not all back in the truck.
No.
There are more of them than the couple can keep track of, sitting in the vehicle and standing in the dark around it, and a few of them won't get back inside. Whatever was going on out there, it had stopped feeling like a coincidence.
3:30 a.m. Tiff awoke to multiple people walking around our truck with no flashlights. Needless to say, she woke me up immediately. I didn't have time to film it, even have time to think. We jumped in the front seat We hightailed it out of the location and drove all the way home.
The two climb into the front seats and drive home on barely 2 hours of sleep. Bear jokes about people out there burying bodies, but the reality is unsettling enough on its own. A group circling a couple's truck in the dark, carrying no lights, refusing to leave, then gone by morning. To this day, Bear and Tiff have no idea who they were or what they wanted. Bear and Tiff at least had a vehicle to escape in. The next two explorers were deep inside a town that's been abandoned for almost a century. Elkmont, Tennessee, sits high in the Smoky Mountains. It used to be a resort town you could only reach by rail, and today only 19 of its buildings are still standing. The way it emptied out is its own strange story. When the government wanted the land, residents were given a choice: sell now for full price and leave, or take a fraction of the money and stay until the original homeowner died. If that homeowner passed a month later, everyone else in the house had to find somewhere new to go. One by one, the families left, and the forest took back the rest. Most of the people who died here went the way you'd expect in mountains like these, killed over the years by fires, logging accidents, and bear attacks. The most recent death came in 2022, when a 7-year-old girl was killed by a falling tree as she slept in her tent. YouTubers Dawson and Michael come to investigate, starting at the cemetery, where they leave an offering on the grave of Levi Trentham, a man locals once called the prophet of the Smokies.
So right here is Levi Trentham's grave. He was born February 22nd of 1852, and he died in 1936. And apparently, due to my researcher's research, we're supposed to leave nails on his grave as a sign of respect, to hope that he will communicate with us tonight. So I'll leave it right here. And there's a couple screws as well, because Michael decided that screws and thumbtacks were a good idea.
I brought the thumbtacks as a joke.
Sure you did. No. So Levi, if you would be willing, tonight we're coming back up here and we're gonna try to communicate with you.
After leaving the offering, the two head into Trentham's cabin, the oldest building still standing in Elkmont, built back in 1845. They ask Levi to give them a knock if he's there, and almost immediately they get one.
Levi, if you're here, right directly in front of your doorway, I have a music box. All you have to do is step in front of it, and it'll go off, indicating that you're here. None of this is here to hurt you. We just want to talk. What is that?
I hear that too, like a knocking sound.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that was very loud.
Assuming the sound came from somewhere else in the building, they go quiet and search for the source. And they find it, a mouse scurrying along the top of the wood. The knock is explained, but what comes next isn't.
I just saw the top of something. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's a little mouse that just crawled right up into there.
Okay.
Okay, well that explains that. That doesn't explain that.
Did you hear
Was
a
that?
voice?
Yeah, yes, I heard that sounded like it was right below our feet.
It sounded like a voice, a man's voice.
Okay.
While they're standing there, a deep voice comes through from somewhere beneath them, and both of them hear it the same way, a man's voice, coming from under the floor of a one-room cabin with nothing below it. The device they brought along begins putting out words as well, among them place and stab, and then something that, given where Dawson is standing, he can't ignore.
If there's anybody...
Sound. View.
Let's say sound.
No. Fell. View.
Did you fall when you were looking at the view? Because right after, like right at this view here, it's just like a drop off.
Yeah. You were literally just talking about that earlier today. You're like, you could just easily fall right down there.
Yeah, I don't know if I was recording, but yeah, I definitely did bring up, like, imagine you fell off of that, because it's just straight down to nothing.
Fall by the view. As the device says it, Dawson is standing at the edge of a steep drop, the same ledge the two of them had pointed out earlier that day and joked about falling from. Whether the device picked up on that somehow, or it's nothing more than coincidence, neither of them can say. There's one more building they spend time in, and its history is the worst of the lot. It's a small cabin built in 1921 by a man for his young daughter, who died while it was still going up. He finished it anyway, in case she ever wanted to play in it, and people who've passed through since claim they've heard a child inside. Between the voice under the floor, the warning that lined up with the drop, and a playhouse built for a girl who never got to use it, Dawson leaves without a single clear answer, and in the end, he just calls the whole night a mystery. Dawson and Michael picked a quiet night to visit. The next team chose Halloween and spent it locked inside a cabin they'd been told not to leave. On Halloween night, a paranormal team from the UK called Ghost Trip International drives up into the Appalachian Mountains and locks themselves inside a remote cabin until morning. They'd been told this was the most dangerous trip they'd ever taken on, that more than half a dozen people vanish along the Appalachian Trail every year, and that going in at all was a bad idea. The rental email had warned them not to leave food outside, since bears come through the property regularly. The locals had warned them about something else, the same set of rules that gets passed around all over these mountains. If you hear a whistle out there, you didn't hear it. Same goes for your name, or laughing, or crying somewhere in the dark. They'd also been told to keep every door and window locked, and to look away as they pulled the curtains, rather than out into the trees.
If you hear a whistle, no you didn't. If you hear somebody call your name, no you didn't. If you hear laughing, crying, anything, no you didn't.
For the first stretch of the night, it goes the way these investigations usually do, until all of them are standing together in one room and hear the same thing at once, a low groan, close enough that it sounds like a fourth person standing right there with them, and one of them catches it on camera.
Behave. It went, mate, I'm on camera.
It's like there's a fourth person in it.
Somebody just groaned.
Like right here.
Mate, I'm on camera.
Full on, like there's a fourth person stood
it.
next to you.
I heard.
From there, the responses come fast. They're running a word bank, a device that lights up words as something selects them, and the same phrase keeps surfacing ahead of everything else. Don't go outside. Other words come with it, like hide and we don't like it. Then a name comes through that none of them recognize, Amber.
A girl called Amber was killed in the Appalachian Mountains. And the name Amber came from.
That name, we had Amber was the first name that came through.
Yeah. Unsolved Appalachian, Amber Spradlin Hearing. And it was like a month ago.
When they look it up, the name belongs to a real person, a young woman who died in the Appalachians in an unsolved case only weeks before their trip. Whether that's a genuine connection or pure coincidence, there's no way to prove it. Either way, the cabin won't settle. At one point, one of the team asks out loud for a sign that something can hear them.
Can you give us an indication that you can hear, see and understand us, please? We understand the energy's got to build, but we really want to communicate with you or...
Who the fuck was that?
Fuck, no way, what was that? What was that?
The whole floor just shook.
Oh my god.
What? Your bag just fell over as well?
Ragatha just knocked over, mate.
Oh shit.
The fucking doll's gone.
The floor shakes hard enough that he nearly loses his footing. A bag tips over on its own. A doll goes missing, and a battery they're sure was on the table ends up on the floor. To test how much of it was really responding to them, they blindfold one of the team and put ear defenders on him so he can't hear the questions, then have him press a yes or no button whenever he feels the urge. When the question is whether something non-human is out there, he keeps pressing yes. When it's whether people go missing where they are, the answer is yes again, and then something none of them wants sitting on the recording. One of us is going to go missing.
Yeah. I want to hear where people have said it says, hey, Dan.
Oh.
Whoa.
My fucking
It's calling
God.
you, mate.
Then the box does the one thing the rules tell you to watch for. It calls one of them by name. Hey, Dan. The exact trick the warnings describe. A voice using a name it shouldn't have. Eventually, they make themselves step outside, since that's what the night was for. It doesn't last.
Okay, God, a screaming woman.
What is that?
Mate, I've heard about this. If you hear screaming women, you don't ignore it. No. Just ignore it. Yeah, just ignore it. Just ignore it.
Fucking hell. Just ignore it. You didn't hear it.
I'm not being funny, but who's going to be just out in the woods screaming?
No one's going to be just out in the woods screaming at midnight. You didn't hear it. Someone's whistling.
Who's that?
No.
No, go. Get back.
A woman screams somewhere out in the trees. Then whistling starts up close by. A torch dies in someone's hand, and a different kind of scream comes out of the dark. They break back toward the cabin. Inside, another search turns up a second name, a father named Sean, who the records say was found with his sons at the bottom of cliffs near the Appalachian Trail in an apparent murder-suicide. The screaming that keeps drawing them back, the sound of a child calling for help, is the exact thing those old warnings tell you to ignore. They don't go toward it.
Oh, there's someone on the back. There's someone on the porch. What? Did you not hear that walking on the porch? Did you not hear them walking on the porch? No. But they're getting closer and closer, mate. I'm genuinely. Yeah, they are getting closer, and it's like they're all. It's not like. Oh, mate, this is fucking stupid.
What was
Come
it?
outside.
No, oh my god. Just said come outside.
Oh my god!
Just said come outside.
Near the end of the night, footsteps cross the porch and voices start closing in from every side, and the device spells it out. Come outside. They shut the investigation down without opening the door again, and as they say goodnight to the camera, the knocks and bangs are still coming. GTI spent the whole night behind a locked door, with a film crew on the line the entire time. The next crew was deeper out and far more alone, chasing something through the dark that never once let them see it. YouTuber Chandler and his crew returned to a cabin deep in the Appalachians, a place that unsettled them on a previous trip. This time their plan is to reach a nearby cave, and they've come prepared, bringing spirit boxes, a thermal camera, and motion-activated lights. The strange sounds begin almost as soon as they step outside, branches snapping in the dark, and whistles answering them from somewhere in the trees. And despite the warnings, they whistle back.
Is that a whistle? Bro, that was almost like, hey, I'm here. Whistle back, whistle back. There you go.
Dude, I don't know.
Say not to do it. Why'd you do it?
Bro, it's like they're surrounding us right now.
The more they answer, the more the responses seem to come from every direction. Their spirit box begins offering up names, among them Patricia and Bernice, followed by a number none of them expected, 150 years. Then a single word arrives in reply to nothing in particular. Prepare. The crew keeps circling back to one idea while it's happening, that the cryptids people talk about out here, the things they call mimics, are known for copying. The footsteps in the trees seem to fall in time with their own, almost like something is matching them step for step.
Like, it sounded like literal two-legged creatures outside.
It didn't sound like animals. It was almost like mimicking our footsteps.
Oh my god. That's shutting on its own? What the hell?
Moments later, Chandler notices something moving beside a tree.
I swear to god, I thought I saw like, you know, like a nightgown on a woman, you know? Like,
yeah.
And then it's like the tail end of it, you know? Like the legs down or whatever.
Right.
And it's like, it was like this. Wait, I need a tree. Okay, could you imagine this tree? So like, it was like just the flowy end of it, and then it's like just hid behind the tree, and it was gone.
He describes a woman in a nightgown, catching only the bottom of the dress before it slips behind a tree and disappears. The crew starts referring to her as the bad lady, and the spirit box keeps returning to her. At one point, they ask how many people died on the land, and the answer that comes back is 2, which lines up with a pair of graves they'd come across earlier. But the part that unsettles them most has nothing to do with the lady or the graves.
We just heard all the yipping and yelping, and what the heck, bro? Like, just listen to it right now. What's happening? We're out here in the Appalachians all alone. We've been walking around in this freaking forest for hours. We should probably go inside or something.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting closer. Holy.
Bro, what the hell?
I don't know.
And they just come to a complete stop?
I don't like that.
Yeah, go.
I've never heard it that close before and that loud.
Yeah.
And you know what's the craziest part? We still have not seen a single animal tonight.
For hours, they hear howling, growling, branches breaking right beside them, and that same matched footfall in the dark. Yet in all that time, they never see a single animal. And the closer they move toward whatever's making the noise, the further it seems to pull back, never letting them get a clear look. That is, until the very end of the night.
I literally saw 2 eyes.
Yeah.
They were glowing and they looked yellow. Don't.
2 eyes appear low to the ground, glowing yellow, yet moving on what looks like 2 legs, and they vanish the second the light reaches them.
Weird dream.
Okay, we should definitely go inside. Definitely.
Okay. Whatever's out here is all part of their fucking plan.
Yeah. Okay, I don't have hands to open that. Can you? Okay. And then maybe shut it and lock it and chain it and do everything else.
The crew retreats inside and locks and chains the door behind them. The thing Chandler keeps coming back to afterward is how deliberate it all felt. Whatever was out there seemed to know exactly how close it could come and exactly when to disappear. Chandler and his crew were able to lock themselves inside. The next 2 explorers were out in the open when they came across something that made the rest of their night make a lot more sense, and a lot worse. Yasko has been filming in the Appalachians for years, and tonight he's brought along his friend Ben, who's never been. Yasko knows the rules well. No whistling, no answering voices, no leaving the trail, and a constant watch for the feral people and what hikers call mimics. There's one more group he warns Ben about, the ones people call the Watchers. The idea is that they study you and follow you through the woods without ever letting you see them, and that the moment you do catch sight of one, it's because they've decided to let you, and it's time to leave. While there's still daylight, the 2 follow a trail down toward the water and begin coming across things left behind. Not trash, but personal belongings.
What did you hear?
Oh, it's a hair clip.
Ugh.
I should probably just stop sticking my fingers in places.
Among the items are a radio, a hair clip, a garment, and a bit of cash, and none of it looks deliberately thrown away. And then they find something that changes the feel of the entire video.
Oh my god!
What?
You know what this is?
What?
A viewfinder.
No, I know that. What is it, like the Lion King movie or what?
No.
But we're not gonna...
So the location that's in it looks like it's Disneyland?
Yeah. Well, a couple too.
And it's like... And this one is 2 girls?
There's also an old plastic viewfinder, still loaded with photographs they can click through one at a time. Inside are pictures of a couple at Disneyland and 2 young girls, along with a bracelet marked with the name of a beach town on the opposite side of the country. The 2 have no idea who any of it belonged to. It could have been dropped by another camper, or it could have belonged to someone who came out here and never made it home. No one has ever been able to say. As they're handling it, the spirit box starts steering them, telling them to head for the caves, to go to where it happened, pointing them off to the northwest. Then it gives them a name. Bri.
What is the name of the girl in that photo? Bree. Clear as just Bree.
That's really clear.
The name of one of the girls in a photo they're holding, a girl they'd never seen before in their lives. So Yasko asks the obvious follow-up.
Is Bree still alive? It literally just said she's dead. It literally said she's dead.
She's dead, the box tells them. Not long after, something happens that neither of them can place. A car horn sounds, the short chirp a vehicle makes when it locks, except there's no car anywhere near them, and they haven't passed one in the forest all day.
I don't see
That was a car horn.
What, that means their lights are off, bro.
Wait.
That means that there's something around us,
that
but their
means,
lights are off.
Wait. Ben, that was a car horn.
It sure was,
That was
partner.
a car horn, like either locking. Okay, so here's a problem. There's nothing behind us, and there's nothing in front of us that I can see.
They try to brush it off and keep moving. But across a ravine, in the failing light, Yasko spots a dark shape that he swears moves on its own. There 1 second and gone the next.
Nalene? Bro, it looked like a dark shadow. And like, I get it, it's hard to see from that far, but like, it was so dark. It was almost like looking at a dark tree over there across the ravine.
And then the gunshots start. Distant at first, then noticeably closer, in a forest where they hadn't crossed paths with another person all day. They decide it's time to leave. But the drive out, after dark, is when things turn. Something darts across the road in front of the truck, too fast and too dark to make out, and drops something behind it as it goes. Every instinct says keep driving. Instead, they stop and they get out to look.
Something ran across the road. I won't say fluke how fast it was. It was a shadow. We could not see through it, how dark it was. It just zoomed across. Now, we were thinking several things. We're trying to think logically. We're trying to cope right now. Was it maybe like a big-ass bug that flew across the high beams that caused that shadow?
And it could have been.
But whatever we saw dropped something
physical,
right there. There's something in the middle of the road over there. You can see it.
They never get their answer. They jump back in and speed off. Whatever ran across that road, and whatever it dropped behind it, is still sitting in the footage, right alongside a stranger's photographs, and a name the box insisted belonged to someone dead. Every one of these nights shares the same gap at the center of it. Something out there that copies, a whistle for your whistle, a voice with no one behind it. The clearest example anyone has ever caught on camera happened at the far northern end of the Appalachians, in a place most people don't even realize the range reaches. Trinity Loop in Newfoundland was once an amusement park, with a train that ran right through it. It shut down in 2009, and a hurricane destroyed most of what remained the following year. Today it sits abandoned, and most people don't realize that they're standing at the very edge of the Appalachians.
It says Newfoundland is indeed the northeasternmost extension of the Appalachian Mountains in North America.
No way. Cool. And what happens in the Appalachian Mountains?
You don't go in them at night?
Newfoundland marks the northern tip of the same mountain range. 4 friends arrive to camp there overnight, and before they even set out, one of them is warned about the little people, the fairies Newfoundland is known for. Not the gentle fairies of children's stories, but the ones said to lure people deep into the woods, fill their ears with music that isn't there, and never let them find their way back out. The local stories go further than that. They talk about fairies stealing babies and leaving something else in their place, and about the old hag, a presence people blame for pinning them in their sleep, unable to move. The only way to throw the fairies off, the stories say, is to turn your clothes inside out.
And then also the old hag is known around Newfoundland as they cause like sleep paralysis. So pretty much you have this person who comes and visits you in your sleep and will cause you to have full sleep paralysis. And it's known around here as the old hag. And many people have experienced different versions of the hag.
Strange things begin happening early, and in oddly specific ways. Some of the crew hear movement in the trees, while others standing right next to them feel something but hear nothing at all. One of them, Chelsea, can't shake the sense that something is walking directly behind her, close enough to be at her back the whole night. Then all 4 of them spot the same thing at the same time.
Here.
There's someone standing right there.
Where?
Here's a building, they're literally moving.
Oh shit! Whoa. Yo, I just saw that. I saw that too. Fucking hell. Hey, who's there? With no lights? Dude, there was like a hooded man?
Yes!
A hooded man? Yeah.
Hooded.
He literally like turned his head and like looked this way, like right at us for like a second. Very little light, but I saw that. Yeah.
See, we all saw it.
Yeah.
A hooded figure standing beside a white wall, turning its head to look directly at them before disappearing. Chelsea sees more of him than the others, and the next morning describes a man in a tall hat and a long dark coat with a thin face, who told her he was part of the railway that once ran through the place.
He had like a top hat on, it like went up to about here. He had an all black outfit, like a long sleeve. It looked like a button up like suit jacket with the pants. And then he had like a skinny, narrow face and like a little bit of like a chubby.
Oh, so you actually saw his face this time?
Yeah. He had brown eyes, like a longer, skinny nose. And he just kind of stood there. And then I asked him, I said, like, what are you doing here? And he said, well, I'm part of the railway.
And twice over the course of the night, something else appears.
What?
I just saw something crawling again. Turn the light, turn the light.
Something crawling?
Something crawling.
Who's there? Like in the path or like where?
It was on the path and it went into the bush. They were crawling. Like you could see, like it wasn't like an animal that had like, it wasn't like an animal that was like going on 4 legs. Like you can literally see like the feet and like pulling, like an actual crawl.
Much lower to the ground. It moves on its hands and knees, close enough for them to make out its feet, and nothing about the way it moves looks like an animal. Around the same time, a smell of something burning drifts through the air, with no fire anywhere near them. And then comes the moment none of them have ever been able to explain. Down by the buildings, Charles and Chelsea hear Angelo scream.
Yo!
Was that Angelo?
That was Angelo. He just yelled help.
Oh my God, again!
A single word, and it's clearly in his voice. Help. The two of them rush back toward him.
Bro, you literally screamed.
No, I didn't say anything.
What?
I was about to...
Charles, what the fuck?
Going again. What are you guys talking about?
Bro, we heard you scream. Like, we could have sworn it was you, bro. Like, I'm not even joking.
I literally didn't do a single thing.
Except Angelo never made a sound. He'd only just returned to the fire when they reached him. And later in the night, it happens the other way around, when Omar hears Chelsea scream for help while she's sitting in the car looking something up, and she never made a sound either. Both times, the cameras were still rolling. Then the spirit box lands on a single name.
It's got the name Dorothy. Does anybody know Dorothy?
Didn't it just say grandmother?
Yeah.
They nearly move past it, until the box repeats the name, and Chelsea goes quiet. Dorothy is the name of her great-grandmother, a woman the box went on to say had lost her life. Something in those woods had learned their voices well enough to scream for help in them, and then it reached past all of that to set her name down in front of the one person at the fire who would recognize it. None of the 4 of them have an explanation. Neither does anyone who's gone back through the footage since.